Hey guys, so it's Lena and I'm currently in the environmental lab, and today I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about how to use the fume hood correctly and safely. So first thing is first, you want to use the fume hood when you're using hazardous materials. That's the purpose, to keep it safe and safe. So when you're starting to use the fume hood, you want to make sure it's on, and there is a button up here that says the airflow is safe and it's on. But you want to make sure, so you want to use a tissue, and I'm just going to use a Kim wipe for this. So you want to lift it up a little bit. This is the sash, and you want to take your tissue and you just want to hold it at the sash and see what's happening. If it's just straight down like that, that means there is no airflow happening, but if it's pulling in like you see in the video, then that means it is on and it is safe and it's ready to be used. So when you're beginning to use this, you want to just look around and make sure all like windows and doors are closed. I know in the environmental lab there's always like the door open because people are going in and out with like just dirt and all this stuff for the environmental lab. So you just want to make sure it's closed and everything is safe to avoid like extra airflow to mess up the airflow in the fume hood. So when you're doing experiments, you want to make sure that your hazardous materials are at least 15 centimeters inside. If they're too close to the edge, then the hazardous like smells and all that stuff is like coming out of the fume hood. But if it's deeper inside, then the airflow is circulating it and it's safe. Also, when you're using the fume hood, you don't want your sash to be all the way up. You want it to be as low as possible. Just to keep your arms in it, make sure it's not too high up where your head is in it and your face, because if there's some kind of like chemical reaction, it will like explode on you, which is obviously bad. So make sure to use this sash as a shield against everything. As you can see, there are actually like marks on the window from like reactions that happened, so yeah. So next, when you're using electrical devices such as like, you know, those little lab pros and stuff, and you have to connect like different things together like wires and things, make sure you do that outside of the fume hood, because if you do it inside, there is a risk of sparks and like fire, so you don't want that. So make sure you just do it outside and then bring it in, you know, just be safe. When your fume hood isn't in use, make sure that all your hazardous materials are safe. Make sure they're not just open. Make sure they're sealed, covered, you know, everything is a-okay. So, those were all like the do's. So now we're going to talk about some things for you to not do. So don't use the fume hood as a storage area. As I have mentioned previously, it is for hazardous materials only. So you can bring in materials that aren't hazardous to like do what you have to do with your hazardous materials, but after you're done, just make sure to take those materials out. Don't store them inside. It makes this place overcrowded and then other people can't use it and it's just dangerous. So make sure to take it out and don't overcrowd the fume hood. Also, you never want to use anything that would block the sash. For example, like a box or something, or like a beaker. Don't like put it here so when you're trying to close it, it won't close. That's just dangerous to you and to everyone around it. Also, if there is a loud beeping noise, like out of nowhere, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is happening? That happened to me once, I freaked out. But basically, all you have to do is lower the sash. It means your sash is too high up and it's dangerous to just lower it. It goes away real fast, it's fine, it's all good. Okay, so that's basically the basics, okay, for the fume hood. And then if you have, like, if you want a more detailed description, there's always the instructions on our website. So make sure to look at that if you have any further instructions, and that's about it.